Hello, I just wanted to talk about a couple points for the Bisclavret. The first discussion post that kind of caught my eye was Naomi's, and she was talking about how the monster was the wife and her lover that betrayed him, and then she goes into and talks about the noble descriptions of the Bisclavret himself and how he was started as a knight and then obviously turns into the werewolf. But I think the major thing that she pointed out that I agree with is the werewolf's trait of being loyal. So where in the text I wanted to point out was it was stanza 162. 162 is where it starts, and it says the Bisclavret close by, he would not lose the king. And at multiple times during the reading, there was or during the poem, there was times where, like, the Bisclavret, sorry, that is a really hard word to pronounce, but it was all about him not like the werewolf not abandoning like people he's loyal to. This was talked about a little bit with like the family, like he was loyal to the wife, and I think this was like the most important part about the like him staying by the king was just to express werewolf's loyalty. He would literally put his life and soul and fight whoever, whenever, however, in order to save the king. I'm just gonna keep scrolling through discussion posts. I wanted to talk about Benjamin's discussion post. He was talking about how the Bisclavret's humanity is inconsistent, saying that like he takes one werewolf form, which is like kissing and showing respect to the king, and in the other werewolf form where he's going crazy because of an encounterment with the wife's lover, the current lover, the later one. And where I wanted to signal in the text was sorry, I'm scrolling through my thing on my sorry, it's all a little bit off on how it should typically be. So it's stanza 150 or line 157. This beast has mind, it has intent. And so Benjamin's discussion post talked about how when the beast saw the wife's lover, it became a different being altogether. And I like to argue that it didn't. So with having intent, I don't think the werewolf mistakenly like jumped out in anger. I think like that's like a purposeful thing, that's intention, because werewolves again are all about loyalty. And the fact is even though the wife like gave up on like the relationship with the Bisclavret, it doesn't mean his loyalty to her went away. And so when he sees somebody else like in his shoes, like it's the moral like fight that the werewolf needs to fight that makes him like want to do that, not so much he's acting out of character. I saw a lot of people talk about how it's the werewolf acting out of character, and I think it's more the werewolf is still basing its like morals on loyalty, and didn't like what he saw like he did like so him acting like that, I don't think is like out of intention. I think he intended to do that. And then Max Rock talked about how the wife can be considered like beastly too. Although I do agree with part of that. One of the quotes that stood out to me in response to his post was she talked about she blushed this is line 98. She blushed deep red from her pure fear. and she talks about why hide your own secrets. She talks about you can make me your mistress if you want. Like all those reoccurring things, they all kind of revolve around her being like scared of the Bisclavret's true form, right? I don't think it's as much highlighting her being beastly. It's more like, yeah, is she the disloyal one, the one who cheated, the one who moved on? Yes, but she didn't act exactly like in an animal sense. She also had a lot of times where she kind of was like kind of talked about like her own sadness and her own like falling out of love, question of trustworthiness with the husband, fearful of his anger, fearful of his form. So instead of it highlighting the like beastly trait of the wife, I think it was more important how she was like not.